Good morning. Um, I want to start by apologizing that I know I've been MIA for a while. Um, I could make up numerous excuses, not to say that I have had partially good reasons that are out of my reach to not be recording and posting, but they're just what they are, excuses. Which leads me to what I want to talk about today in my Testimony Tuesday, Testify Tuesday video chat. I want to talk about those discouraging excuse moments in life that every single one of us have. Um, you know, we say it all the time, and we tell our kids all the time, life is not easy, and life is full of surprises, and the surprises sometimes are not the best surprises. And sometimes those surprises and that not easy becomes an excuse, and that excuse turns from a bad afternoon to a bad day to a bad week to a bad month, and then it just becomes very cyclical. It becomes a cycle, which some of us also like to call we're in a funk. I've been in a funk, and I think a lot of people misunderstand the concept of Christianity many times, thinking that Christians don't get in a funk, which is called a season. And some of these seasons, unlike our seasons, well, actually, it is a Miami season because it lasts. We have summer all year long. Your season can last a lot longer than you would like, and you have good seasons and you have bad seasons. And like I said, those bad seasons are called funks. I've been in that. Now, your approach, your disposition to that funk is what makes the huge difference. And it's where having a nice relationship with Jesus makes a huge difference. And sometimes we take a relationship with Jesus as an I love you. And I am a person that thinks that people say I love you very easily, which takes away the value of I love you. It takes away the depth, the meaning of what I love you means. If you just use it nonchalantly and for everything and with anyone and at any time, it loses its value, because then that moment that you have with a person, or that expression, that feeling that you have for a person or for something, becomes very common. And I love you shouldn't be something that's very common. I love you should be something that is very valuable. So a lot of us, yeah, I know Jesus, and yeah, I have a relationship with Jesus. And then my question is, well, do you really? Everybody knows of Jesus. Everybody knows who he is. And unfortunately, some people, only during specific times, during specific seasons, they remember who he is. And then they really go towards him, which, you know what? I say that it's better to go towards him at some point than never. But then think about it. Not that he is like that, but think about it. If you only go to a person for specific things, and only when you need something from that person, do you really have a valuable, loving relationship with that person? No. You're only using them or going to them to your benefit. Is Jesus one to care about that? Not really. But is that the way that it should be? No. That's not really a relationship. So when you start creating a relationship with Jesus, it should be all the time. Good, bad, morning, afternoon, starting your day and ending your day with. And I know I've spoken about prayer before, but if people would finally understand that having a relationship with Jesus is not just about our fathers and Hail Marys. It's not just about starting with the sign of the cross and speaking in a specific way. No, it is just about having conversations. Some conversations are pretty, some conversations are not. Some conversations are crying and loud, and some are just like, hey, let's talk. If people would understand that it's just that, it's just a conversation, I think people would have it more often. But then what happens is when you do have that relationship with Jesus and you are in the funk, like I've been, because life exists. Life is not any different for a Christian. Life is the same exact thing. The difference is when you are a real Christian, you kind of have a really nice support system. You have a support system with, first of all, Jesus, and you're comfortable with your conversations with him. And then you have your support system of the right people around you, which, by the way, just because you're Christian and you have friends that claim to be Christian doesn't mean that everybody is the right thing. Even as Christians, you have to be selective and make sure that people have the right intentions. But when you're in that funk, when you're going through that bad season, having that relationship helps. And that's the difference. That's where the important part comes. I don't want to say it makes it easier. I want to say it makes it tolerable. It makes the season a lot more tolerable because you approach the season very differently. Number one, you look at it as why? What am I to gain? What am I to learn? What is it that I need to understand? What is it that I need to accept? What is it that I need to change? And I know I've spoken about change, and change is so necessary in life, and yet it's very difficult. So when you have this person called Jesus that you can vent to and talk about and let him guide you so that you can understand a little bit better, read into the season a little bit better, it makes it a lot more tolerable, because then you're not just complaining of, I'm in a funk and, this is a horrible season for me and life sucks. You're looking at it as in, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to be selective about? What do I need to change? And if you notice, all of these were I. What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Okay? It's not what did they do wrong, or what did he do wrong, or she do wrong? What does she need to change? No. Again, it's you. Okay? People need to accept that this is your season, this is your funk, so this is up to you to make the changes that occur in your life. The changes that occur in your life are not up to anybody else. It's nobody else's fault. It's nobody else's issue. It is yours. And especially if we're parents, we need to understand that our changes are going to cause a chain reaction to our kids changes. Then when we're in the process of this change in this season, that takes us to the other part of our relationship with Jesus, where patience is so difficult. I am one that I struggle with patience so bad. I'm not patient at all when it comes to life. I want answers now. I want change now, even when it's with myself. I don't want to go through the process. And the process is extremely important, because that process is, number one, what helps you become one with that change, what really helps you understand and why that change needs to occur. And it's what really makes you stick with that change. Anything that happens overnight, whether it's good or bad, it's unvalued. You take it for granted. So when you do go through a nice process, okay, when I say nice, I'm talking about that length of that process, and you live the process every minute, the ending result becomes that much more relieving and that much more valuable. Not only to mention, it's kind of a guarantee that you're going to avoid going through that funk or season again. You're going to go through others, but not that one, because your approach is going to be different towards life. So I want you guys to, if you get anything out of this video, understand that Christian or not, life happens to everyone. Bad seasons, funk seasons happen to everyone. It just makes it so much nicer when Jesus is holding your hand and you allow your hand to be held, so that it doesn't become a pity fest and it's easier for you to snap out of it. So just have conversations with him. Ending of years and beginning of years are very difficult moments. There's a lot of closure that needs to be done. There's a lot of reflection that needs to be done, should be done. So it does become an easy moment in your life to get in the funk. Because if you're a person that, like myself, that is, you're very hard on yourself. I'm extremely hard. I am my worst enemy, to be honest with you. That season can last a lot longer than it was really meant to last. So make sure you have your conversations. Make it a purpose. Make it an intention to start your day and end your day with Jesus. Even if it's a 30-second conversation to if it's a 30-minute conversation. And just talk. Trust me, he is listening, and answers will come. Now understand, all the answers are not going to be the ones you want. He's going to give you the answers that you need, whether they're pretty or not. And then accept that process. So I hope you guys have gotten something out of this. You're not alone. By far are you alone? You're probably a lot more accompanied than you think. There's so many people going through things. Just some people are more truthful and real and open about it than others. And it is so nice when you could let people know that you have weak moments and that you have ugly seasons, and just by you letting yourself be vulnerable and putting yourself out there can easily help somebody else, so that they know that they're not going by it or through it by themselves. It's a normal thing of life. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how physically fit you are. You could have all the money in the world. You could do CrossFit 8 days a week. If your soul is not fit, And if your soul is not rich, that's the only tangible richness and fitness that we have in life, because it's connected to everything. Dollar bills are going to make no sense, and they're not really going to bring pleasure or be enjoyable or be used in the right ways if your soul is not rich. Physical fitness is not going to do absolutely anything for you if your soul is so empty that you take your fitness for granted and you use it for the wrong reasons. So you're not alone. Things happen. It happens to everyone. Let's work with it together. Leave me comments. Send me messages if you need prayer, or if you want to share your venting. And we'll go through this together. And let Jesus hold your hand. Let him guide you. Whether it's the way you want it to be or not, we need to accept it. Okay? Yeah, I hope this has helped you guys. I hope this has given you a little bit of peace. And with that peace, you get fire in your bouquet to make the changes that need to be made. All right, guys. Again, happy Testimony Tuesday, Testify Tuesday. Happy week. Happy New Year. Let's get things popping. Bye, guys.